So hey, Sam.
Hello.
We are here on the Music Hack booth, and you're going to show us Masterplan, right? Because it's not a brand new product, but you've had a lot of updates, right?
Yeah, we've done a lot of updates, made fixes to a bunch of stuff, couple new features. But it's a mainstay mastering plugin for everybody. The quick rundown on it is we basically we see about two different types of mastering plugins usually. One of them is that a very simple, like kind of one knob thing or an AI thing where you don't have a lot of control, so you kind of just get the sound you get. The other kind is airplane cockpit. You get 100 million knobs and you got to do too much, and it's easy to step on your feet, and it's hard to make a mix. So Masterplan's about your ability to focus, get stuff done, and use your ear to make the changes that you want to the sound. So everything kind of works that way. All of these big controls in the middle are about changing the most important aspects of the sound, a tone control, loudness, and width, and they try to tackle the problems that happen automatically when you do that. So instead of having to deal with attack and release and all these parameters for compression and limiting and clipping, we just combine all of that together into one unique algorithm that handles loudness and can push it really far without any sort of pumping or anything like that. The width control is mono safe, so you never have to worry if you crank it too hard. It's just about what sound you like, not whether or not the phasing is ruining your mix. Along the bottom of Masterplan, we have a bunch of different controls for specific ways to lean the tone a little bit or fix problem areas. So everything from thickness to change the saturation, clean for muddiness, and they each have detailed controls. We can get more or less of that effect. A multi-pressor, which you should only need for problem mixes. Glue compressor that's locked in, some way to calm the sound down, like digital high-end stuff you can get rid of, and a tape emulator that has two different tones you can kind of fade between tight and warm. So I'm going to turn this guy on, and let's hear what it does to the sound. I'm going to start by turning on Unity. And what Unity does is it keeps the volume the same no matter how much you crank the loud knob, so that you can hear what the loud knob is doing to the sound other than change the volume. And that way you know that you're not distorting or causing pumping or making the sound different in a way you don't like. I got a Fusion track highlighted right now. We're going to start playing it through. Here we go. And we got Unity on. I can start cranking loud up. It's going to be maintaining the dynamics really well while it increases the volume. So our LUFS level's climbing to like -10, -9. And if we turn Unity off, we can hear that our actual volume change we got is pretty massive. We can make sure we're not messing with it too much by leaving Unity on when we're working. We can make adjustments to high and low, increase the width of the track without hurting the way that it sounds in mono. Just a whole lot available to you. Add additional saturation. Clean up some muddiness. And then try some different tape effects. Oh, I faded out here. So we can get kind of a warmer sound by cranking this to the right. And we get kind of a tighter sound on the bass. We'll turn off Unity and get there. Eyes start to roll off as we do this. You can dial in the sound you want really, really, really quickly with Masterplan. It's really easy to audition it between, loudness levels to make sure that whatever you're doing there isn't, screwing your dynamics up. I mean, that's the name of the game for loudness, is louder, but dynamic as you can keep it. Yeah.
So obviously it's designed as like an end of stage mastering plugin.
Yeah.
But are you seeing people use it in kind of other more creative ways as well?
Yeah, we've seen some sound designers use it to kind of pump the volume into things. We've seen people that use it on mix buses as kind of a tone box. So they might use tape on different tracks and lean it to warm or play with the saturation controls and get like different feels for maybe like a synth bus or a drum bus or something like that. Yeah, it's really versatile.
Cool, and you've also got a version or like a...
Yeah, so we have, where to go? Right, so we have a master plan that we're working on for iPad And we want to make sure that we have the most streamlined, kind of like easy to use experience that's really built for the iPad. So it scales and does everything the exact same way, but it's very smooth, works in the box the way that it's supposed to. We don't have a release date on it yet because we want to make sure that it does all the same things perfectly, and that takes effort, right? iPad is a really great platform, and we just want to make sure that the people that get it are going to get a really great experience.
And you're the one of the DSP kind of engineers, right?
Yeah.
So when you're designing, when you're taking something from the PC or the computer to an iPad, how difficult is that? Is that a full kind of rebuild, or how are you approaching it?
Yeah, it's a really, really good question. So we use, under the hood, we use the Juice platform to do a lot of kind of, what's AAX versus VST versus AU. And so that's, but we don't use that for the audio part. We just use that for the kind of plug-in wrapping part and the GUI. When it comes to bringing it to the iPad, there's only one format that we think is worth bringing over, which is the AU V3. That's only supported, I think, in a few hosts on desktop, so Logic and Live. But Apple designed it so that if you move a project from, say, Logic between the two, it should retain all your settings and everything, so that's cool. And for us as developers, the real challenge is the difference between working on a mouse and keyboard interface to working on a...
on a touch interface.
Yeah,
of course.
Thanks for getting me back on track. Because on a touch interface, you can't hover the mouse. You can't see underneath your finger. We have something we call finger shadowing. So there's all these different things that show up, and the usability, the UX becomes much harder you can't just put the same thing over on an iPad. So what the difficulty in our part is, we're going to get rid of the whole GUI, and we're going to redesign one that can respond much better to the situations that you get on an iPad. Because that's going to make it easy to use. It's going to make it creative to play with. It's going to make it feel right.
Brilliant. Well, Sam, thank you very much for speaking to us. Sorry, one thing.
Oh, yeah.
How much is Master Plan?
Oh, that's a really good question. Master Plan is $175 US, and we have a rent-to-own plan, so you can do multiple payments of $35. For details, you can go to our website at www.musichack.com. Music is spelled with a K, if that helps. And you can always reach out to us there. We got a contact form on our About page.
Brilliant. Well, Sam, thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much. Good to meet you, Sonicstate.